This is actually going to be a long read, which is why I'm going to dedicate a live stream to go through this whole article. It's really large, but I'm going to give you the down low. I think the ADL, instead of focusing more on Jewish people being attacked in New York or real life issues, they're trying to find non issues in order to tackle so that they can justify getting funding, especially in a time where most people aren't going to care that much about harsh words or mean things said online as they are going to care about the economy. Most people are going to care about how can I get a job rather than, I got a mean tweet on the internet from dank racist 64. So they're definitely trying to get into other avenues, and one of these seems to be video games. Now, they talk about how video games are a platform, and it's not like a comic book where the conversation around the comic book happens in mediums that they cannot control. No, video games are under the control of companies, and they completely want to bypass the consumer and bypass the clients, the people that actually pay money to these companies, and have the conversation without the gamers so that they can decide for you how online gaming should function. And they point out how 75% of people from Overwatch are getting harassment. I mean, if you're going to make harassment to be as loose as the anus of a gay man in prison, then yeah, maybe, I suppose. But these people seem to be completely incapable of distinguishing trash talking, which is welcomed, between actual harassment. Like, if you go and call them a poopy head, they consider that harassment. There is a YouTuber I'm not going to name who had a couple of people making fun of her forehead, and YouTube considers that to be bullying and harassment. There was another person which told Zombie Unicorn to say the thing that she said in Bully Hunters, and they consider that to be harassment. Like, it's getting to the point where if you look the wrong way at someone is now harassment. And what does harassment mean? Well, it means you're going to have your account banned. That's pretty much what it means. So you're going to spend money to purchase a video game, which is not quite cheap, by the way. And with the coming economical downturn, it's probably going to be even more expensive than it is now. So you spend money to buy a video game, and then because you trash talk or you say something negative, that is harassment. And you can get your account banned, so you're not going to play that video game again. I constantly give Discord as an example for this shady business tactic. You can use Discord in order to purchase games from their store. But if your account gets banned, and it is quite easy to get banned from Discord, you can even not do anything wrong. Like, if you're just on a server and someone on that server does something nasty, everyone on the server gets their accounts terminated, and you lose all the games you bought. Like, that is the future. This is what these companies are planning to do to you. So first of all, like, trash talking, completely remove. I remember how esports used to be funny because of the trash talking, and people go like, whose bitch this is. None of that anymore. Esports are so boring to watch. There was a guy that was playing Hearthstone, and allegedly he claims he was tired, so he did something like this. And Blizzard gave him I believe a fine even, because they said that is a Chinese a stereotype against Asian people. Like, it's literally that insane. I remember playing soccer when I was a kid in the neighborhood with other kids, and we were having fun. We were trash talking. We were saying things that we wouldn't say if our mothers were there. Well, now you're not allowed to do that. Now your mother is going to be there 24/7. Like, just so you can understand how authoritarian these bitches are. If you play Overwatch with 4 of your friends and you're trash talking and you're saying disrespectful slurs and you upload that on Twitch, the Blizzard developers have said that they go proactive with their banning. So they might, if they get to see you playing that with your friends in a pre-made and you say something disparaging, they can ban your account. I mean, what more can I say? That's why I stopped playing Overwatch. I disagree with this. Like, I'm not going to give money to a company and then spend money on buying loot boxes and skins and other stuff just to have your account terminated because they disagree with the fact that you have a potty mouth. That is ridiculous. If you don't like what someone has to say, then mute them. It's going to be that most American companies are going to become like this, which is good for the competition. I mean, people are going to focus more on playing Japanese MMOs and playing Eastern European MMOs because they don't care about this nonsense. And it's going to be more fun to play these games because every time you play an American game, it's going to feel like mommy and daddy is there, making sure that you don't say any disparaging words or something like that. Like, what? Why? Imagine this. Like, you make a product and you're concerned what your clients have to say. Like, imagine running a restaurant and having a waiter at every table to listen up to the conversation of what the people at your table are saying so they don't say something that might be disparaging. Like, when you go to a restaurant, you have to sign some terms of service to make sure that no one at the table gets harassed. And you have to get a person listening in. I, I'm not even going to go to other games like Outer Worlds, which is a single player game, and you can't name your character. Like, there is a big list of names you're not allowed to give your character in a single player game. You can't call your character a bimbo, for example, in that game. It's single player. But the developers are so concerned with what you do in your own private freaking bedroom. Remember when that used to be a thing? It's like what you do in your bedroom is no one's business. Well, apparently I can't call my single player character nigger because the developer of a single player game cannot sleep at night if I do that from Romania. It's literally ridiculous to the point where it's driving me insane. Like, why are these people so focused on what others are doing in their own spare time, in their own hobby? Like, what's next? Are you going to send a police officer at the soccer court or at the basketball court in order to make sure that people are saying the correct things there? You know, if we apply this logic to the government, then certainly there might be a microphone in my house to record what I have to say when I talk with my wife. That I don't say anything that's sexist or disparaging when I spank her ass as I'm having sex. It's literally this world that is now being created step by step, and because people aren't having a push against it, because people don't complain about it, it's just getting worse. Honestly, like, people should protest a little bit. But, you know, I have a small channel and a small voice. No one is going to listen to what I have to say. It's most people don't even find this concerning. Like, I've been telling people this since day one, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right now, you do not own your video games. If you actually read the terms of service of most of these companies, you just have the privilege of using their platform in order to play their games. So you spend thousands, some people might have spent tens of thousands of dollars on video games during the last 6-7 years. Most of your games are on virtual libraries like Steam. Right now, Steam is being directed by Gabe Newell, and Gabe Newell is a very nice guy. Like, I don't have anything to complain against him. But imagine what will happen if a authoritarian dickwad gets control of Steam and is going to replace Gabe Newell. You're going to have like this lady with pink purple hair, and she's going to have like, no, if you use Steam, you need, these are the terms of service. And the moment you leave a negative review, the moment you leave some negative comments in a video game, they can just take down your entire Steam library. They can do that. They literally could do that. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What are you going to say? That is probably the future that we're heading towards. And it's very worrisome for people that want to be left alone. For people that are sick and tired of moral busybodies, it is a very dark and bleak future. So anyway, I will read this entire article on a live stream. I don't think I'm going to be doing it today because I want to finish playing Resident Evil 3. But I'll probably be doing it tomorrow, because look at this, right? As they're talking about controlling video games, they also talk about how Twitter and Facebook is a centerpiece of the 2016 elections. In other words, like, this is all about politics, like controlling what people think. It's not about creating a better environment in video games. It's not about attracting more people to video games or making sure that people enjoy video games more. No, it's about banning and excluding people. Like, this is what really annoys me. It's like getting the hate out of games, right? Hate doesn't exist in a vacuum. These are paying customers that you're declaring war on because you disagree that they have a potty mouth. And then you say, oh, making it more welcoming to the players. Well, it's not going to be welcoming for the person that gets banned now, is it? Every single time these people talk about welcoming and inclusion, they actually mean excluding and kicking people out. So yeah, I'm really worried about this, and I'm going to be very skeptical of any company that buys into this bullshit. But again, so far we still have Japanese companies, like diversity. Diversity is great. Yes, non-American, non-Californian. Fuck California. Fuck their culture, and fuck these authoritarian moral busybodies.